All right, thank you, President Steve. So good afternoon, everyone. Hola. And I'd just like to take a brief moment, thank you for the opportunity to introduce my guest today. Someone that pretty much all of you in this room already know. So let me make sure to go to my notes so I don't take all day. All right. Although you guys have all day. So in 2016, Tamara was big sister through Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Tampa Bay Incorporated. She noticed that her little sister, Tanisha, was not receiving some much needed services through the Hillsborough County School District, which she attends. She then resolved, instead of just complaining or talking with friends, that she would run for the school board at that time, so she could personally ensure that thousands of youth like Tanisha, especially in East Tampa, which has the largest population of underserved black youth and over 33,000 residents, would have access to social services, a higher level of education, and wraparound services to improve their quality of life. So Tamara has been the District 5 board member to the Hillsborough County School Board since 2016, with the primary duties of managing the superintendent, approving a balanced $3.3 billion budget, creating effective policies, and advocating for students, staff, and families. Her over 20 years of experience in insurance and as owner of an insurance agency with extensive management experience, insurance litigation, contracts, budgets, and leadership that prepared her for her current role as school board member. Just very brief testimonial. I've been working in the school district for over 6 years as a certified ESE math teacher for middle school and high school students, primarily underserved populations in our alternative schools. And every time I have asked with board member Shamburger for assistance for a child with disabilities or a family who was struggling, whether the family was homeless, needed help with school choice, what have you, Tamara always stepped up, moved very quickly, and prioritized for the families who were in need. So I know she gets the job done for her constituents and for the students of the school district, whether you live in District 5 or not. Okay, so I want her, Tamara, to come on up and tell us a little bit more about what she does. And also, can I tell her about background?
Sure.
Okay, and some of you may know that Tamara is a fellow person of Caribbean heritage. Her great-grandfather.
Yeah.
Okay, she'll talk about it, but we'll figure out some of you guys might be cousins.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tamara. Everybody give Tamara a rousing applause as she comes up.
Thank you so much, Kato. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Steve, and the rest of the club members. Thank you so much for allowing me to come in today. It's such an honor to be with you. Kato has talked extensively about the Rotary Club. I get texts from him all the time encouraging me to join. So I'm certainly honored to be here. And I'm always excited to be here in Ybor City. As Kato was alluding, I'm actually fourth generation Tampanian. My great-grandfather was a Cuban immigrant. He and my grandmother immigrated from Cuba back in the 1800s. They came up to Key West, where they were cigar rollers, as many of them were. And then they migrated up here to Tampa, where they worked right here in Ybor City as cigar rollers. And so my family has been here. They're Hernandez family. I am Shamburger, that's my dad's name, but the Hernandez family is still rooted right here in Ybor City and throughout Tampa. So this is home. This is where we love. This is where my family began, right here. And so, Kato may be right, we may be in fact family. We're all family anyway, but we really may be family. So it's an honor to be here in Ybor City. Ybor City is a part of District 5. So as Kato mentioned, I was elected to the school board in 2016 to represent District 5. So let me just tell you a little bit about District 5, and then we'll get into some facts about the district. So District 5 is what refer to as the urban core of Hillsborough County. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of serving our most underserved and marginalized communities. We're talking about low-income, high-needs families, largely Black and Hispanic communities. Oh, and let me just stop there. I have to acknowledge Sherry, principal of Shore Elementary. I know you guys know her very well. She's one of the most impactful principals in Hillsborough County School District. So honored to have Shore as a part of District 5, and certainly you as the leader, Sherry. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for joining Hillsborough County Public Schools. It's great folks like you that make us even greater, so we welcome you as well. And if there are any other educators or district folks, retired or current, thank you so much for your service. But District 5 is our urban core, primarily high-need schools. I have about 68 schools in District 5, representing about 60,000 families. And just really quickly, the border. So I go as far south as just north of Riverview. 301 is my eastern boundary. USF, Fletcher Avenue South is my north boundary. Then if you take 275 on back down right here into Ybor City, then I jump into West Tampa and the Carver City area. So it's a very large district. And again, it covers the urban core of Hillsborough County. Now, a little bit of facts about the Hillsborough County School District, just in case you don't know. So our school district is the 7th largest school district in the United States. We have roughly 220,000 students, spread about almost 300 schools. We also are the largest employer in Hillsborough County with about 24,000 employees. So we have lots of teachers and bus drivers and a lot of great folks that help serve this community. Also, do you know that about 90% of our families also choose Hillsborough County Public Schools to educate their students. So we have a monumental job, folks like Sherry, who help lift and educate and further our community. But I am very proud to represent District 5. And I tell you what I do mostly. My job on the Hillsborough County School Board is to make sure that our children are well. Has anyone in here ever heard of the Maasai tribe out of ancient Africa? Yeah. The Maasai tribe, they're phenomenal people. See, they were known for great things. They were tall people, over 6 feet tall generally in stature. They were great gatherers and they were great hunters. But the reason I want to talk about them, to me the most profound part about this Maasai tribe was how they greeted one another, right? We've all stood up this afternoon and said, hola, hello, how are you, right? But when two Maasai people would come upon one another, they would ask, and how are the children? And how are the children? And you see the response was generally, and the children are well. Here's why that's important. You see, the Maasai people had it right. They understood that how well the community was set up to be was dependent upon how well the children were set up to be. Just imagine if moving forward, if all of us, all of our leaders, local, state, federal, all ask each other, and how are the children, making all of our decisions dependent upon how well the children are. Well, that's the task that I took on as your Hillsborough County School Board member. My job is to make sure that the children are well. They're well educated, they're well loved, they're well respected, they're well regarded, they're well taken care of. And we could probably go around the room and come up with others, but that's each of our duties. And so that's what we've done here in the district, is work to make sure that our children are well. And so a couple things we've done in the district that has really helped move the community along. And so, by the way, I could sit here and talk about education for hours upon end, but I know there's some hot topics that you guys want to talk about. So I'm just going to tell you a few things that we've done successfully in the school district, and then I'll allow you to ask any questions that you may have. First of all, for those of you who voted for and supported the half-cent sales tax referendum, thank you. That has been absolutely amazing. Now, while we have seen a slump, right, because of COVID, people aren't out shopping, that money for capital outlay to improve our school buildings has tremendously helped, especially in our District 5 schools that really need some upgrading. We're averaging pre-COVID about $10 million per month just from that half-cent sales tax referendum. And so that is really helping us to put new roofs on schools, where schools are getting painted, we're getting playgrounds, covered courts, ACs, you name it. Our schools are finally getting the attention that they deserve because of your support. So on behalf of the school district, thank you so much for that. As you guys may know, and if you haven't had them in, you may want to consider inviting our newest superintendent, Mr. Addison Davis. So we have the distinct honor in over 50 years hiring a superintendent from outside of the school district. And so if you haven't met him, you'll enjoy him. He is high energy, he's very passionate about the work, and he has certainly brought and will bring a different flavor to the Hillsborough County School District. So we have the pleasure of hiring him, and he is really changing things, and Sherry can probably confirm that.
Yes.
Also, let's just talk about really the elephant in the room, which is COVID. Some of you may know that I am a COVID survivor. I just recovered from COVID. I've been well for probably a week and a half. I'm not contagious anymore. So, but if I keep my distance, just understand I am a little shy now because of that. It really was a nightmare. So please take this virus very seriously. Keep yourselves protected. Trust me, you do not want it. But that brings to what's going to happen with our schools in August. And so currently, as you may know, the governor and our Commissioner of Education, Richard Corcoran, have issued an executive order to reopen our schools just on August the 10th. And Superintendent Davis has implemented a plan that's along that line. And I tell you, you're probably going to see me a little bit in the newspaper, maybe on the news a little bit, because I'm going to fight against that. I believe that we have to roll back that opening date until we've passed this COVID scare, and that we can ensure that our students and our teachers and all of our staff members are absolutely safe. But currently the plan is to reopen on August the 10th. Our families have been given 3 options. They can return their children to school, just regular brick and mortar with some safeguards in place, or they can attend e-learning, or they can attend online. But we want to make sure that we absolutely get your participation and your input on that. This Thursday, you guys, at 1 p.m., the school board and the superintendent will be hosting a workshop to discuss this reopening plan.